Hey, what's going on everyone? This is iReviews back with another video, and again we're talking about the new iOS 18.4. Now it looks like the wait that we had to get the first beta of iOS 18.4 has been worth it because this update is amazing. It has a ton of different features, and we have actually talked about on the previous videos about 40 new features of iOS 18.4 beta 1, and we still have more to talk about here, and actually some really cool new features that Apple has added to iOS 18.4 beta 1. Now first of all, we're heading to Safari, and here we have an amazing new feature with Safari on iOS 18.4. So when you go here to search for something, now it will show you your recent searches right there. That's really useful. So whether you're on a website and you tap on the bar right there, or you're just on your front page and you tap on the bar right there, you will have your recent searches right there, from where of course you can go ahead and do those searches again or even clear them with that button. For the iPhone 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max users with the camera control feature, now you will have a submenu for the camera apps. Now this used to be like a list right here, but now it's its own section. So when you go there, you tap on the camera app, and then you will see the list of all of the apps that you have right there, which is in my opinion way better than just having a list of the apps on the main camera control menu. Now another new feature of iOS 18.4 is of course the new ambient music feature. You can now also invoke it using the action button. So if you have a device with the action button, you head onto your settings and go to action button right here and go to controls, tap right there and choose one of the ambient music that you can see right there. But what you can also do is tap to configure right here. So you tap on configure and you will have playlist where you can go ahead and pick like the different sounds from this like feature that Apple has added with iOS 18.4. But what's really cool and what will appear right here is also music that you have on your library. If you're using Apple Music, then you will be able to also choose one of your playlists from your library and invoke it using the action button. Another update with iOS 18.4 is the dynamic island. Now previously we talked about the privacy dots now appearing on the dynamic island as they should done before. That is a really nice fix, but even now with this beta you will see like the animations are way better with iOS 18.4 if you of course compare it to the latest iOS 18.3. So when you have like the dynamic island active and you have a couple of apps there, you have a few different gestures that you can basically hide or just display anything you want. Like if I swipe down here, you can see I can split the apps or I can merge them like this. So it's actually pretty awesome. And what's really cool is that the animations now are much better, and you will notice it if you have a device like on iOS 18.3 and you compare this, it's actually much better with the animations that you get on iOS 18.4. And we have a few changes on the Shortcuts app as well. First of all, the animation on the Shortcuts app is now much smoother. So it has like a different animation in zooming in and out, which is pretty awesome, and I really like this compared to the last one on iOS 18.3. Another thing you will notice here is that when creating a new shortcut, you will see right here for creating a new shortcut, the done button has actually been removed and it has been replaced with the back arrow. So if I just go there, I tap to go back, it will actually save everything, which is really awesome. And there are also some new actions that have been added. We talked before about the Messages app having new actions with iOS 18.4, but the Clock app does have some new actions as well. So if you just search for Clock and you see all the actions, you will notice that now we have two new actions right here under World Clock, where you can add a city or remove a city from your app. So these are the two new actions added for Shortcuts on iOS 18.4. Now there are also some pretty cool new features that have been discovered in the code of iOS 18.4, which most likely will be enabled or added to iOS with the next few betas and maybe with the public release. Now one of them is smart replies for third-party apps. That is a big new feature if you have a device that supports Apple Intelligence. You know that with Messages on iOS 18 and also with emails, you will get that amazing smart reply feature with Apple Intelligence, and it actually works really well. It does an amazing job. And now with this update, based on what has been found on the code, Apple will allow also third-party apps to use that feature, which will be amazing. There's also a new Apple Vision Pro app coming that, of course, for users that do have the Apple Vision Pro headset, they will be able to have their app on their iPhones. And according to the code, Apple is also working to bring Google Gemini support for Apple Intelligence, just like they did with ChatGPT. They should be adding also Google Gemini very soon. Again, these are features that are not actually enabled with iOS 18.4 beta 1, but have been discovered on the code of this update. And another thing that has been found by 9to5Mac on the code is the ability to switch eSIMs between iPhones and Androids and vice versa. That will be also a very useful feature for a lot of users. And now let's quickly take a look here at the battery and see how it's performing here with the first beta of iOS 18.4. Well, we have here battery at 91% battery health, the iPhone 15 Pro Max here, and here we have the battery life with about 60% battery, 3 hours 12 minutes, and not that great there. Here we have 75% battery, 6 hours 39 minutes, that's way better. And then here about 95% battery, 8 hours 38 minutes, and here with about 110% battery, 8 hours 8 minutes. So as you can see, based on the battery health of this device, and of course being a bit older, it does not perform that good, but of course it's still beta 1 and it has to actually go through many beta stages, and most likely towards the public release of iOS 18.4 the battery life will be much better. So what to expect next? Well, currently we're on the first beta, and I would actually expect Apple to release a new beta as soon as this week. So most likely the 3rd or the 4th of March should be the dates that we get the second beta of iOS 18.4. Now this update will most likely go through 5 or 6 beta stages before it gets released to the public, which we know now based on different information that it will actually be released in April, so it should be sometime in middle of April. So most likely we will go through 5, maybe 6 betas, and then the RC version somewhere around here, the beginning of April, and most likely the 14th or 15th of April should be the dates that Apple releases iOS 18.4 to the public. Now, in the meantime, before that release, there will actually be most likely another update. That should be iOS 18.3.2. We're expecting that update to actually come sometime in March here, most likely towards the beginning, the first couple of weeks of March. We should also get the iOS 18.3.2, which of course will be a smaller update, not containing new features and changes, but of course it should be really important, as it will of course have different bugs, fixes, and security improvements. So of course always we suggest that you install those updates on your device. So that's basically it for this video, guys. iOS 18.4 is shaping up to be a great update, even though it doesn't bring the new Siri Apple Intelligence features, but it's actually very cool with all the cool new features, and we actually have discovered now around 50 new features, and it's just beta 1. So that is it. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you on the next one.